want you to notice also another parable that Jesus told. The famous parable of the vineyard workers. It's found in Matthew chapter 20. Matthew chapter 20, the Bible says that the owner of the vineyard went out several times during the day. He went out at 6 in the morning, then he went back at 9, and then at noon. Then he went at 3 in the afternoon, 5 in the afternoon to find workers because he needed all the time more workers for his vineyard. Finally, at 6 o'clock, pay time came. There were some individuals who had worked 12 hours. There were others who had worked 9. Some had worked 6. Some had worked 3. And some had only worked 1. And when pay time came, the owner of the vineyard paid them all the same. And those who worked more, notice what they said in Matthew 20, verse 10. But when the first came, they supposed that they would receive what? More. So they worked in order to get what? In order to get more. Not because they wanted simply to work out of grace. They were working because they felt that if they worked, they deserved more. And so it says, and they likewise received each a denarius. And when they had received it, they complained against the landowner, saying, these last men have worked only 1 hour, and you have made them equal to us who have borne the burden of the heat of the day. But he answered one of them and said, friend, I am doing you no wrong. Did you not agree with me for a denarius? Take what is yours and go away. I wish to give to this last man the same as you. Is it not lawful for me to do what I wish with my own things, or is your eye evil because I am good? So you'll notice that working in God's vineyard does not earn more for some than for others. They're all paid salvation by God's grace, not by the work that they perform, not by what they earned. Now, it's interesting to notice the motivation that led the Pharisees to obey God and to keep His law. Notice Matthew chapter 6 and verses 1 and 2, and then we'll go to verse 5. Matthew 6, 1 and 2, and then verse 5. Here Jesus says, take heed that you do not do your charitable deeds before men with what motivation? To be what? To be seen by them. Why did the Pharisees do their works? To be what? To be seen by them. Otherwise, you have no reward from your Father in heaven. Verse 2, therefore, when you do a charitable deed, do not sound a trumpet before you, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, that they may what? Have glory from men. Assuredly, I say to you, they have their reward. Notice verse 5. And when you pray, you shall not be like the hypocrites, for they love to pray, standing in the synagogues and on the corners of the streets, that they may be seen by men. Assuredly, I say to you, they have their reward. Why did the Pharisees perform their works? Why did they keep the law? Was it because it came from their hearts? Because they loved God? Because they had faith in God? Absolutely not. They kept the commandments externally because they wanted to be seen by men, and they wanted God to recognize them and save them because they were keeping the commandments of God. That is what is called legalism. So if you emphasize only the commandments of God to the exclusion of faith, you have what? You have legalism. And by the way, do you know that Jesus says that we're supposed to do good works to be seen by men?